Hello friends, how are you all? I hope all of you are very fine. Friends, as we have seen in the last exam of UGC NET, that some of the questions were very deeper questions were there regarding the chronological orders and matching the works and the writers, etc. Okay, and the detailed definition types questions were there. Okay, we have to find out what is the right option and what is not the right option. So I have decided to create such videos regarding such questions. I have analyzed many of the question papers, the previous year's question papers and the last one as well. And we have around 4 to 6 months for the upcoming exam. Okay, the exam will come around in March or June, between March and June. Okay, so till then we can prepare many things. Okay, and in this video, one such very important point I have added here. I have created a video on one such important point, and in future I'm going to create such videos for you. So please watch the video full, and if you like my videos, you can subscribe to my channel. Okay, and these are the different videos I have uploaded, I have discussed so far. These are the different topics here, and the videos you will find about these topics on my YouTube channel. Along with the English literature videos, I have also uploaded some videos, a couple of videos regarding the general paper, because general paper is very general, but it is at the same time it is very important paper, because when we find out some of the difficult questions at such time, some videos, some material will going to help you, okay, in this general paper. So I have created one such video regarding the general paper, which points we can cover in this general paper, as well as important units are there, teaching aptitude or communication or research. So such topics are there, such units are there on which I have created videos, so you can watch it. And I have created all measure of the videos regarding the exam. So exam oriented videos you will find on my YouTube channel. Okay, you will find so many MCQs on my YouTube channel, which will going to help you. Okay, it will going to help you in the exams based on English literature, where the topic is English literature. Okay, so not only for the UGC NET set exam, but it is going to help you in TGT and PGT exams as well as in the PhD entrance or MPhil entrance. So friends, these are the different topics, and here the videos I have uploaded so far, many videos are there. These are just the examples. Okay, and you can see here different topics I have covered here in this particular YouTube channel. Okay, so you can find it out on my YouTube channel. Then about today, what is the important one? So chronological order of the periods of English literature, friends. So it has troubled you, it has troubled many students. Okay, some of the students are very lucky, they are not troubled by this topic, but many of you are troubled. Okay, because chronological order is one such things which is very much difficult to remember. Okay, and these are the important periods. So first of all, in this video series, I'm going to explain about the chronological order of the periods of English literature. Then after we'll go for the different works of different writers, different great writers, okay, different ages. So here you can see here many periods are there of English literature. Old English period is there, Anglo-Saxon period, then Middle English, Renaissance, Neoclassical, Romantic. So let's move on and let's learn about it in detail. And friends, one more important thing, after this explanation of these different periods, I am going to ask you simple questions, and these simple questions are included in this video itself. So you can find out some of the, you will find out some of the important questions after this video. So be in this video, watch it full to get the better idea about the chronological order of periods of English literature. So friends, here we can see the first one, Old English period, which is also known as Anglo-Saxon period, and it was between 450 to 1066, so around 616 years. It was the timeline was around 616 years, and this particular period includes the invasion of the England by Germanic tribes. So invasion of England by Germanic tribes like the Angles, Saxons and Jutes in the first half of the 5th century. So the first half, we can see here, the first half is 450. Okay, 450 is the first half, and in this particular time the invasion of England occurred by Germanic tribes like Angles, Saxons and Jutes. And when we move further, it was continued to the Norman conquest, and Norman conquest happened in 1066. Okay, 1066. In this particular year, the conquest called Norman conquest was happened, and this particular period was continued to that Norman conquest. So it ended in 1066. And during this period, the poetry was written in vernacular language because English language was not there. The proper English language was not there. That's why it is known as Old English period, because Old English was used at that time. Anglo-Saxon language was used. So the poetry which was written was in vernacular language, the regional language, okay, in Old English language. Such poetry includes Beowulf, the great epic poem. Beowulf is the great epic poem of the Old English period, and the lyrics were also written at that time. The lyrics like the Seafarer or the Wanderer, okay, and the Cadmon and the Cinebule were the popular poets at that time who were writing on religious and biblical themes during this period. So Cadmon and Cinebule, there were two writers who were writing poetry on religious themes, on biblical themes. So biblical themes and religious themes were popular at that time in Old English period. Then Middle English period. Middle English period covers the time 1066 to 1500. Okay, so around 434 years time it has covered. So in this particular period, three sub periods are there, sub ages are there. One, we all know that the Chaucer, the age of Chaucer, but apart from Chaucer's age, there were two more ages, which were, so you can see here, the first one is Anglo-Norman period. Anglo-Norman. So after the Norman conquest, so Anglo-Norman period was there, and it was between 1066 to 1340. So around 274 years, the period, this particular period is covering the time. Okay, so in this period, this is the age before Chaucer. Okay, before Chaucer, the time is considered as the Norman period. Okay, and Norman conquest is responsible for this period. So keep in mind this particular year, 1066 to 1340, around 274 years, friends. And it has some great literary works as well, especially in the field of poetry. For example, the Owl and the Nightingale is there, or the Cursor Mundi is there. So Owl and the Nightingale and the Cursor Mundi, two very important poetry were written in this particular period, Anglo-Norman period. Then age of Chaucer is there. Age of Chaucer was between 1340 to 1400s. So friends, it is covering the time around 60 years. So particularly the timeline of Chaucer, in which time the Chaucer lived. Okay, and the Chaucer was the great poet of all time, as we all know, and he started the tradition of writing poetry in English language. The age is also the meeting ground of two important periods. This age is also considered as the meeting ground, as the bridge of two important periods. For example, the medieval period and Renaissance, medieval ages and the Renaissance. So there was a bridge between this particular period of Chaucer and the next period which is going to come. And Chaucer's age is also known as the age of transition. Age of transition is also a name of Chaucer's age, and turbulence, age of transition and the turbulence. So keep in mind this term, age of transition and turbulence, for the age of Chaucer. Then age of revival, the last 150 years of the Middle English period, and the last 50 years of this age of revival is also a part of the Renaissance period. Okay, because it is the in between the Middle English period and the Renaissance. Age of revival, it is around 150 years, and it was between 1400s to 1550. And this particular age includes the time of Middle English period and the Renaissance. The major events in this age are Cad's rebellion, War of Roses, Lancaster as Red Rose, and York as White Rose. So War of Roses were there, the major event of this period. And this War of Roses included Lancaster as the Red Rose and York as the White Rose in English aristocracy. And this age includes the English Chaucerians like Thomas Occleve and John Lydgate. Thomas Occleve and John Lydgate. So English Chaucerians were emerged in this particular period in age of revival. Okay, and also along with the English Chaucerians, there were Scottish Chaucerians as well. Then the Renaissance. Renaissance covers the period of 1500 to 1660, around 160 years. And this particular age, Renaissance, is also known as early modern period. So don't be confused in this word early modern, because modern age is different and this early modern is different. Early modern is relevant to Renaissance. Renaissance is also known as, is also considered as the early modern period of English literature. And this particular period, Renaissance, covers different ages. First of all, the Elizabethan age. This Elizabethan age, very fruitful period of English literature. It covers the time of 45 years, 1558 to 1603. This Elizabethan age included the person Elizabeth I. Elizabeth I ruled over England during 1558 to 1603. So the age was named after her name. This was the age in which the English literature flourished too much. English commerce developed much during this age. This was the age of writers like Marlowe, Shakespeare, Sidney, Spencer, Raleigh, Bacon, Johnson. So this age is considered, the Elizabethan age is considered very fruitful age in the history of English literature. And don't forget the particular years, 1558 to 1603, around 45 years it is. Okay, then Jacobian age is there. Jacobian age, this age was named after the King James I. King James I, who came to rule after Elizabeth I, James I, and the age, Jacobean age, is named after his name. And Shakespeare's tragedies and tragicomedies were published during this age. This age is also very fruitful after Elizabethan age, because Shakespeare's works were flourished too much. His tragedies and tragicomedies were published during this age. It is very a short period of time, 22 years only, from 1603 to 1625. But it has done a great impact on English literature development. And also this age marked the success of prose writings, by Bacon, Donne and Robert Burton. So Bacon, Donne and Burton wrote many prose works in this period, during this period. So it is also known as the age of prose writings. After Elizabethan age, this is the first period in which the prose writings flourished too much. Then Caroline age. Caroline age covers the period of 24 years. It started in 1625 and ended in 1649. And this particular age was the age of Charles I. Charles I was the king. Sorry, Charles I was the king of England, after whose name the age name was entitled, because Caroline means Charles and Carol means chance, Charles. That's why it is named after his name. And this age was the age of civil war. It is describing the civil war. It has the event of civil war in England between the Cavaliers and the Roundheads. Cavaliers and the Roundheads were the two different types of people who were there in battle, in cold, in civil war, because their beliefs were different. Because Cavaliers were the supporters of the King of England. They were the supporters. Okay, the Cavaliers were the supporters, and the Roundheads were there, who were the supporters of the Parliament. So king and the Parliament were in the opposition side, and there were civil war between these two types of people, two types of supporters, the supporters of the king and the Roundheads in the Caroline age. So once again, the Cavaliers and the Roundheads in civil war in this Caroline age. Then Commonwealth period from 1649 to 1660, and it covers the period of 11 years. And this Commonwealth period is also known as Puritan interregnum. Puritan interregnum means in this particular period the Puritans emerged. This age marked the end of civil war. In this particular age, in the Commonwealth period, this civil war which was started in Caroline period, it was ended in Commonwealth period. And also the execution of Charles I in 1649. Charles I was executed in 1649, and the Puritan leader Oliver Cromwell ruled during this age. Oliver Cromwell was the leader, the Puritan leader, who ruled after Charles I during this age, in which in this particular age the drama was almost disappeared. Drama writing was not there. The people were fearing to write drama, because the Puritans were against of drama. That's why dramas were almost disappeared from England, as the Puritans were against of this. And they also closed the public theaters in 1642. In 1642, these Puritan people were closing the theaters in England in 1642. So when was the public theaters closed in England? In 1642. By whom? It was Puritan. Okay, so Puritans closed the public theaters in 1642. Then Neoclassical period. Neoclassical period, it was around 125 years, and it was begun in 1660 to 1785. It was ended. So in this Neoclassical period, many sub ages are there, small ages are there. First one is Restoration. Restoration is very important period in this particular age. And it covered 40 years. It began in 1660 and ended in 1700. it took this particular period took its name from Charles II. Charles II was there, who on whose name the name of restoration came. It was given to this period because the restoration was done by Charles II in England, who became he became the king of England in 1660, and after this period was begun in England. In this period, many famous writers were there. For example, William Wycherley, William Congreve, John Dryden. These were the major writers of this age. And restoration comedy, very popular genre of comedy. Restoration comedy was become very famous in this era. Then Augustan age is named after the King Augustan, the Roman emperor. Okay, and this particular age is the 18th century of English literature. This particular age covers the 18th century, 45 years, and it is also named as Age of Pop. Age of Pop. Okay, because Pope was very popular writer at that time, so it was known as Age of Pop as well. And this 18th century of English literature is a very important part of Neoclassical period. This century is considered as the golden age. It is known as golden age, this particular period, as well as the 18th century, because the English literature was flourished too much in during this time. All the types of writings were there. Prose writing was there, poetry was there, drama was there. So it was flourished very much. That's why it was called as golden age of English literature. Uh, and it is named also as the Augustan age after the name of Roman Emperor Augustan Caesar. Augustan Caesar was the name of Roman emperor after whose name this period is given the name Augustan age. Matthew Arnold was there. Matthew Arnold, very popular writer of this age. He called this age, sorry, not popular writer of this age, but he called once that this particular age is the age of prose and reason. Okay, Matthew Arnold called Augustan age as the age of prose and reason. So very important age of Neoclassical period. Then age of sensibility. Age of sensibility covers the period of 40 years, and it is also known as the age of Johnson. Age of Johnson, because Samuel Johnson was a famous personality of English literature. He wrote critical writings. He wrote dictionary of English language for the first time, and so he is very famous in English literature. That's why he is also given the tribute as the age of Johnson. This particular period is given the tribute. Okay, so age of sensibility is there, and in this age of sensibility, most of the years were dominated by this particular person, Samuel Johnson. Then Romantic period is there. Romantic period, first one, let's repeat it. Neoclassical period. Neoclassical period covers three different periods: Restoration, Augustan, and Sensibility. So keep in mind these points: Restoration, Augustan, and Sensibility. Then Romantic period. When we talk about Romantic period, two or three names came in our mind. First of all, Wordsworth, Coleridge, Southey. Okay, so such names are there, very famous names in Romantic period. It covered around 45 years, from 1785 to 1830. So friends, here in this Romantic period, the beginning of this period is little bit confusive, because its beginning is sometimes considered 1785, the end of age of Johnson, because the age of Johnson was ended in this particular year 1785. But sometimes it is also considered 1789. because the French Revolution emerged in this year 1789, and also it is considered in 1798 very particular year, because the publication of lyrical ballads was there by Wordsworth and Coleridge. So three different years are there which marked the beginning of Romantic period. But we can hear we can here prefer this particular year because it is written in standardized books. Okay, 1785. So we have to follow this particular one. But there are different three things. French Revolution is also there, and lyrical ballads publication, and the end of Age of Johnson. So we can keep in mind these things as well. And this age is rich in romantic poetry of Wordsworth, Coleridge, Southey, Black, Burns, Keats, and Shelley. So such poets were there, very famous poets were there in Romantic period. Then after this, Victorian period is there. Victorian period is around 69 years. Okay, from 1832 to 1901, and it covers two important things: pre-Raphaelites, the age of pre-Raphaelites, and the aestheticism and decadence. Okay, so two different things were there. Pre-Raphaelites marked the period of 12 years, and aestheticism and decadence emerged till 21 years. Okay, so very important things in this Victorian period. Keep in mind, pre-Raphaelites and aestheticism and decadence were emerged in Victorian age, Victorian period. And this Victorian age was marked with some important movements. For example, Oxford movement is there, aesthetic movement, and pre-Raphaelite brotherhood movement. This age is also named after Queen Victoria. Queen Victoria was there, who ruled from 1837 to 1901. And this name Victorian period is given is taken after the name of Queen Victoria. This age is also known as the age of reform, age of reformation, as the first reform bill came during this era. The first reform bill in England came during this era, because that's why it is called as the age of reform also. So Victorian period is also named as age of reform. Then when we talk about the writers of this period, so Browning is there, Rossetti brothers, okay, Rossettis. Then Arnold is there, Tennyson, Hopkins were the great figures of this period. Then Edwardian period, Georgian period, modern period, and post-modern period. So first of all, Edwardian period, it was around 13 years. Okay, it began after the Victorian period in 1901 and continued to 1914. This period was the King Edward VII's period, because King Edward VII was there, after whose name this particular period is given the name Edwardian period. And the poetry written in this period is also known as Edwardian poetry. It began from the death of Queen Victoria and continued to the starting of World War I. The First World War marked the end of this period, because in 1914 the First World War was begun, and the Edwardian period ended at that time in 1914. And in this period, when we talk about the poets, the writers, the famous personality of literature, so these names include the poets like Hardy, Noyes, Yeats, and Kipling. Hardy, Noyes, Yeats, and Kipling. So these are the famous poets of this era, Edwardian period. Then after Georgian period is there, it covered 26 years of age. It marked the age of George V, who ruled during this age. Poetry of Brooke, Walter, de la Mare, Davis, and John Masefield is considered as the Georgian poets, okay, because their poetry were based on these the events of Georgian period. That's why their poetry is also known as Georgian poetry. Some of the war poets were also there. Then friends, modern period is there. Modern period covered the time of 31 years, and it was after the uh, one World War One, because when the World War One started, the First World War started, the modern period also began. Okay, it was also begun in England, and it continued to 31 years till 1945, till the Second World War was begun. Sorry, Second World War was ended. Okay, in 1945 it was ended, and it was begun in 1939. So this particular period, modern period, is considered as the modern age also. T.S. Eliot, W.B. Yeats, Auden, Graves, Dylan Thomas, Seamus Heaney was there, are the major poets of this age. Okay, T.S. Eliot, then W.B. Yeats, Auden, Graves, Dylan Thomas, Seamus Heaney, these are the major poets. Then novel form was also developed in this age. Novel writing was flourished in this particular period in modern age. Major novelists included in this age are D.H. Lawrence, Joseph Conrad, Virginia Woolf, Forster, Huxley, Dorothy Richardson. So these are the different popular novelists who emerged in this during this period, modern period, and their novels were also very much popular till this today. Also, these novels were very popular. Then postmodern period is there to present. Postmodern period was began in 1945, and it is continued to today. Sometimes today's period is also known as contemporary English literature period, but it is also part of postmodern period. So the period after the World War II is considered as the postmodern period, uh, and it is, as I told you, it is also considered as the age of contemporary literature in English. So friends, these were the different periods of English literature. Now we have some sample questions for you, and in these sample questions you will find many variety of questions which can be asked, which are asked in UGC NET exams. The paper setters of exams of UGC NET or SET or any other exams, so they are keeping in mind such points. So first of all, the first question is there: which of the following English literary ages are in correct chronological order? So here we have four different options: Augustan age, Victorian age, Jacobian age, and Caroline age. Four ages are mentioned in different four options. We have to find out the correct chronological order, which was the first one. Okay, so try it out if you can. Okay, so the correct answer here is B. Jacobian age will come the first. It was the first period among these. So Jacobian age, then Caroline period, then Augustan age, and Victorian period. Okay, because Jacobian age uh, was begun in 1603. Okay, Jacobian age was begun in 1603 and ended in 1625. And Caroline age was begun in 1625 and ended in 1649. Then Augustan age, it was begun in 1700 and 1745 it ended. Then Victorian age, it was begun in 1832 and ended in 1901. So the option number B is correct here. The correct chronological order of these periods is Jacobian, Caroline, Augustan, and then Victorian. Then the next question is, in which of the following ages of English literature the age of sensibility is included? So here Romantic age, Renaissance, modern age, and the Neoclassical age. So which is the right answer, friends? Find it out. The age of sensibility. So it is neoclassical age. The option number D, neoclassical age, which is covering the period of 1660 to 1785, and it included the age of sensibility, the age of Johnson, we can say. Okay, here we can see different periods are included in neoclassical age: the restoration, augustan, and age of sensibility. So keep in mind these points. Augustan age is also known as age of Pope, and age of sensibility is also known as age of Johnson. Then the Georgian poetry was a part of which of the following period of English literature? So here we have four options about this Georgian poetry. It was a part of one of the following period of English literature. So in which we can include this? So it is obviously the first one, a modern age, option number A. Modern age is covering, is including this particular poetry, Georgian poetry, the Georgian era. And here we have two more things to discuss. The Georgian period was between 26 years, and it began in 1910 and ended in 1936. And when it was ended, the modern period was there. Okay, it ended, it was emerged in modern period also. So a modern period began in 1914 and ended in 1945. So both the periods were going parallel, in parallel they were going simultaneously. Okay, so Georgian poetry is a part of modern age. Then the next one, match the following correctly. So here we have very important question of this video. Middle English period, the periods are given there, and the their sub ages or sub periods are also given there. So we have to find out the right one. Here we have options. Identify the correct one, which can be the correct answer. So here different options are given, and this one, this is for this. Okay, so don't confuse in between. Middle English period, Victorian age, the Renaissance, Neoclassical period. So where this can be matched. So here we have the right answer, DCBA. DCBA is given here. Let's see it. Chaucer is included in the Middle English period. Then Pre-Raphaelites are included in Victorian age. Then Puritan interregnum is a part of Renaissance, and Age of Pop is also a part of Neoclassical period. So very important question it was. Then friends, the fifth one, which of the following is correct timeline of the Commonwealth period in English literature? So find out the correct timeline period. The right answer is C, 1649 to 1660. Okay, so it is the correct timeline of Commonwealth period in English literature, 1649 to 1660. And here we can see the different explanation about this. So friends, that's all for today, because the time is up and I have to end this. Here you can find out the material, and on these social media platform you can follow me. And friends, if you want to download the study material of English literature, you can search in my blog. My blog name is The Online Classroom, and you can search by Rajnikant Dodiya blogspot.com in Google, and you will find the study material of English literature as well as NTA NET paper 1 and English. Okay, and some of the important quiz I have created for you. So you can also find the quiz on my blog. So friends, that's all for today. If you have any query regarding the today's video, you can ask me in comment box, and you can also WhatsApp me. You can also ask me in Facebook. I am there. I am there available in these social media platforms. So that's all for today, friends. We'll meet soon. and with a new video on new topic as per the UGC NET question papers, because I am keeping in mind the question papers of UGC NET, and I'm creating the videos for exam oriented videos I'm going to create. So friends, thank you so much, and please subscribe my channel if you like it, and please share this video as much as possible, because it is very important one. So you can share it with your friends in your different groups and Facebook as well. So that's all for today. Thank you so much.